Apparently, it's not the most wonderful time of the year. In
In
5D.
5D.
Yeah, just, according to that song, there's just one of those. So everything else is shit. Welcome to the shit times of year.
Well, it's just not the most wonderful time of the year. That's
I
their
wish
cop out in the lyrics.
that's fair. I wish they would give more context. What are
Yeah.
other wonderful times of the year, and what are the unwonderful times
You
of
know
the
which
year?
song needs more context?
Hmm.
Um the the rapey Christmas one.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
I honestly look. I'm not one for. I still read H.P. Lovecraft, right? Here's my segue into this idea. It has come out that Lovecraft was a huge racist, and a lot of his stories were sort of about his fears of ethnics. Um,
Okay.
I try not to let that color my intake of art. I separate it completely. To the point, I don't like film theory or anything either. I don't like somebody going, well, you know what the story means is this. No, it means whatever you felt about it. When you watched it and you took that in, what did you get? If you got something you liked that wasn't savagely like obviously unless it's on the nose or something.
But I will say though, unless the director, it can mean different things to you, but unless the writer or director outright come and says, he goes, look, these were the themes I was tackling, and this is what it was.
I'm
Then,
not agreeing whether it exists or not. What I'm talking about is whether I care and whether I let that
oh, okay,
influence my
okay, fair
idea on
enough.
something. Like if the director is like H.P. Lovecraft, he's like, yeah, I meant this because I hates me the black people. I don't know what he sounded like. I'm assuming it's that. I try not to go like, oh, well, then if that's what you meant, then I'm not interested. For me, I go, oh, well, when I watched it, I got this from it, and I'm just going to ignore what you said. So I kind of feel this, for me personally, Baby It's Cold Outside is a worthless, shitty song that I didn't care about. But I love all the people like, you can't take this from me. Yeah, you can play that in your car and in your home, and
Well,
you don't have to agree that you love beating women. You can have it, but if other people go, we don't want to hear it on the radio because we don't like it, why do you care? Just listen to it in your car.
I think it kind of depends, right? Like, while I am 100% separate the artist from the art, like most of the time when I'm reading, watching, or even listening to something, I'm enjoying that art form in the moment for what it is, right?
Yeah.
I have made exceptions. I make big exceptions to the point where I don't want the artist to benefit from me enjoying their art if the artist is a gigantic piece of shit.
That's a hard line to draw though, because typically most art involves multiple people and you're
Sure.
punishing a big group of people for the actions of one person. Do those people who did nothing wrong still deserve to not get anything because the one
And
person is a pile of garbage?
well, and that's just it. So I'm not the type of person to go and try and cancel anybody. But like I won't
We're
listen to
getting
Chris Brown
heavy
music on
early.
Spotify.
We're getting heavy so
Oh,
early.
I know, it's fine. Let's start
It's
heavy and then
fine.
we can get
It's
lighter.
fine.
It's fine.
It's
It's one of those weeks, man. Eventually, we have one of them weird episodes.
fine.
But yeah, no. So like Chris Brown, I just won't listen to his music because I don't like. He's talented. I'm not gonna say
Going
he's not.
forward, but if you already had a song from him that you liked, you would just stop listening to it forever?
So I wouldn't listen to it on a platform where he would still be making money. Like if I already had the CD, I already paid for it. Yeah, okay, fine.
Fair enough, I guess.
But like I would listen to it on Spotify or any of those because he still gets money, right? I
So do
don't.
other people.
So like now here's the difference. If he had gone to jail, done time, and came back, I'd still listen to it
All right. Paid
because
his debt to society and
yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
exactly because the rules as written have played out. As a society, we have agreed certain things. This is why, like, Baby It's Cold Outside, Bring It Back, doesn't quite bug me as much. Like, obviously, if it was overtly awful, yeah, you don't want to bug people. Don't sing it at somebody. Like, there's some nursery rhymes that you just don't want to go into anymore for those same reasons.
They're all super dark. We sing those to children.
Yeah, but specifically some that talk about, like, you know, racism and things like that. Like, just like
Sure.
Lisa Lovecraft. So I wouldn't sing those now. But,
Sure.
like, I'm not going to go and say that, like, oh, yeah, no, within the societal rules that we all agreed on back then, that this was heinous. No, it wasn't. And is it sucky that it wasn't? In some cases, sure. And that's okay. But what I like is that nowadays, when we are creating art, sometimes it's okay to look at it from a lens of not having to put a microscope on every single phrase and what did they really mean, and
It's a really old song.
Yeah.
A lot of the language probably doesn't hold up, but again, at the end of the day, both sides. If anybody is that impassioned about it, I really don't get why. My station doesn't want to play it anymore. Cool. I want to listen to that song. Cool. You're like, is anybody really that upset that you're not going to hear "Baby It's Cold Outside" in the mall? Like, are you even actually?
Oh, God.
You do this to me a lot though, where you go like, "Oh man, you can't walk through the grocery store without hearing that song." And maybe this is a specific me thing. I don't really hear, big air quotes, like I don't hear the music. Like, it plays occasionally. I go, oh, they're playing this song. Like, if I'm waiting for my wife or something and I'm zoning out, it worms it. But 99% of the time, yeah, there's music in the grocery store or the mall or wherever. I don't hear that. It's just sound.
And look, I don't want to play any sort of card here, but legitimately, that's probably my hypervigilance.
Maybe. Or maybe it's my, like, just super aloof and not give a shitness. I don't know. But Christmas music is the one thing I hear it in the mall and I'm like, I fucking want to burn this place to the ground.
I would pay.
But well, yes. But after 5 or 10 minutes, honestly, you're so distracted with being in the mall during Christmas time that it fades the fuck away.
I think my issue isn't that we're hearing these songs. My issue is that I can only take 4 or 5 different versions of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer before I want to go shove some reindeer's face into a wood chipper. I'm totally kidding for all the people going to get offended by that. But
here's an argument for "Baby It's Cold Outside." I'm going to add one argument in keeping it around. Taking that out of rotation means we're down from like 12 Christmas songs on repeat to 11 Christmas songs on repeat. Do you know how many more repeat cycles happen if you remove one whole song from that rotation? Oh my God.
And I'm sorry, like, look, talent, 100% talent.
Sure.
And I just because it's newer doesn't mean it isn't old as fuck and doesn't need to be listened to over and over again. Looking at you, Mariah Carey, and your Christmas music.
God.
All I Want for Christmas is You.
I don't like any Christmas music. None of it. And not even, like, I'm not a big Christmas guy, but I am well past, like, that. I hate Christmas. These days, I'm just not a big Christmas guy. I don't really care about Christmas. The music is awful. I hate it. None of it is good.
What about the parody Christmas stuff?
No.
Was it like Mama Got Run Over by a Reindeer? I've never actually heard the whole song, but I used to watch the late
Grandma
TV.
got run over by a reindeer.
See, I just know from the late night commercials. That's all. But not your thing?
No, hate it. Hate all of it.
Okay.
And it's probably because it's the same thing like those movies I can't watch because my brother would watch them over and over and over again. I have a good memory for things like that. And so hearing it over and over and over again, it just takes it to a point where it's distorted and I can't see it.
I will say that I was thinking, I don't like any Christmas music, but I do like one. But only done as a cover by a particular artist that I'm into. Last Christmas.
You're already losing me.
Done by Darren Hayes. I believe the original was Wham? Or maybe George Michael. I forget if it was...
The original? No.
Of Last Christmas? Like, I'd sing a snippet for you, but I feel like
you're right. It is Wham.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was...
I would have thought it was older than Wham, and they were also doing a cover.
No. I knew that one for sure, right? Like, that's the only Christmas song that I can stomach regularly. It's in one of my playlists.
What I'm hearing personally is that you're a real big fan of Wham.
Actually, no, the Darren Hayes version's better. But yeah.
Who is Darren Hayes again? I know this name. But I'm
lead
not
singer Savage Garden went solo.
Yeah, okay.
Has
I only know him because you
me.
basically masturbate to a shrine of Darren Hayes nightly.
Actually, maybe. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I am now, and this is okay. I always say this is the most first world thing. This is the most first world thing that I'll talk about in a while. I am now basing an entire vacation around seeing him live,
buddy.
Because after Daft Punk retiring, I have so many regrets of never seeing bands that I respect live.
Bro, I feel you there. That's
like you know what I mean?
That's legit.
So
I'm super jealous of a mutual friend of ours because he got to go to that. What's the one where like they did all the mix songs? You know what I'm talking about?
It was I think it was Derezzed or
no, Derez was the Tron one.
Oh,
Derez was the Tron one.
So no, there was one where all the Tron songs were redone.
I'm talking about. There's one where they Alive.
Okay.
So their Alive tour, the whole tour, it's like here. What's the track list on the album? Robot Rock and Oh Yeah together, Touch It and Technologic, Too Long, and so everything was a mashup of two of their songs put together. Well, our friend of the podcast, good old Ty Swiggs, was at that show, and I will forever be I'm actually still holding on to Rage Against the Machine tickets because they were doing that last tour right before COVID hit, and I scored tickets. Well, actually, my buddy scored tickets, and I bought some off of him. I've been holding on to them because I don't want to. I want to see them once. I'm with you. I'm with you. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Australia.
You're going to Australia?
I am going to Australia. I bought meet and greet cocktail tickets for this thing, dude.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
Because this is okay. So I've talked a little bit about it on the podcast, and since we already started dark, let's talk about.
Let's get darker. Let's fuck this up.
Here's the interesting part about Darren Hayes. So Darren Hayes started as a pop star. That's where he went, and then he went through some shit. He went through some very dark times. Part of that was he finally came out. And I say finally because in the latest interview, he talks about how everybody always just assumed that he was into other guys.
Okay.
And so finally, after the breakup, the thing that broke up his marriage was the fact that he realized that he liked other dudes. And he's been married to another dude for like 17 years or something.
Okay.
But artistically speaking, you can see where he went from a very bubbly, bright pop star to where he started experimenting with synth. And so his second album, so his first album outside of the pop duo was this dark, personal synth. It was almost like EDM pop. Unfortunately, when you think that, everybody thinks of Avicii and all those, right? But it was very like dark tones, emotional, drawn out. It wasn't that happy, bubbly, like boom, boom, dancey. And then you can start to see how artistically throughout his whole music he changed as he was struggling. Not only did his lyrics change, they went away from being your stereotypical everything is love, I love you, to talking about legitimate experiences as a human, as a partner within relationships, right? Versus just like your love poppy bullshit. Like there's certain lines that as he was going through the struggles, I was doing some of that stuff myself too, right? The deployment, the feelings of insecurity that go along with all of that, right? And I've never been, in a normal sense, your manly dude. That's never been me, right? I've always been a nerd. Like, yeah, I did some tough guy shit to this day, and I've gotten in plenty of, arguments, fights, and all that.
Sure.
But I was never that guy. So growing up, I used to catch loads of shit in a very similar way. The difference with me is I'm not, I'm heterosexual. But the difference
didn't help that you only wore spandex onesies.
I mean, they were twosies. But yeah, so
Why did you think a twosie is a thing?
I don't think it is either. No. But I just threw that out there. You should have just let it go. But anyways, long story short, so I respected Darren as an artist because you always have a bunch of these artists that sell out, right? And the themes that he was going through spoke to me a lot more than other things, at the time. So I really got into his music. I really liked his lyrics. They're like, at one point, one of his songs straight up just says like, love and other emotions are just chemical reactions in your brain. Like, that's all they are. Like, what you're feeling. Exactly. So, long story short, it makes sense to me. And I realize it's not for everybody, that type of music, right? Definitely not your bag. But I'd always wanted to go see him live. I almost bought tickets to London to go. It was like a private, intimate concert. Think of, do you remember the circular room that Chappelle did that show in? Much smaller.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that with a cocktail hour. But at that time, this was years ago, I wasn't making the kind of money that I make now. And
right.
I definitely was not able to, without putting myself into some serious hole, to go. So I did it. But after the last 2 years, and now, like, I don't want to miss out. He's come back to music after 10 years. He's touring in next year only in Australia. And so I bought tickets, and we're building, we're going to go see other parts of Australia because not just going.
Yeah, you're there.
Right. So we're going to make it a vacation that we do and visit a couple of hotspots. Well, one of my kind of bucket list items has, realistically, I want to go see the Sydney Opera House.
Are you going to go see an opera at the Sydney Opera House?
No, I'd rather see something else. I'm just saying. I respect the folks who can sing opera, and I like operatic. I don't know if that's a word. I like opera singing in other things like musicals, Phantom of the Opera. Like I like that style of singing. Sure,
of the opera.
It's fair. It's not for everybody.
I can't do. Honestly, I can't do musicals at all.
It has to be the right musical, like
in anything where people sing what they're doing unironically, or break out into song for no reason.
Okay.
It immediately just disconnect from the medium entirely.
Hold on. Okay, so here, I agree. We're gonna get completely off topic here, and I love it. I agree. Okay. I don't like it when they go, I am walking down the hall. Like, that shit is annoying. I don't care. I can see you walking down the hall. I am not opposed for them to slip into a song when the story calls for it.
No, still can't do it.
And that's fair. That's fair. I don't want a play told to me in song. I don't want that. What I want is a play that happens to have talented singers somewhere in between. Because I love singing, I love vocals and all that. So, anyway, like the Phantom of the Opera, it was even part of it was me and my wife's wedding song, not Phantom of the Opera, but a
song from it,
a song from the show. It's because first we had our first trip to New York together. We went our first Broadway musical we saw together was Phantom of the Opera. So a very.
So you guys murdered that hobo together?
Yeah, no, for sure. That was afterwards in the alley because we asked him what the time was and he told us to go fuck ourselves. So we got to do something about it.
You guys ever see Repo the Genetic Opera? Yes, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but it was not for me. I really, truly did not enjoy a second of that film.
I agree, but for dual reasons. One, it's not my thing. The gore, we talked about it. The schlocky.
See, and I like the schlocky gore, but it's that whole I'm cutting up your body. I don't remember any of the exact songs, but that they're just singing what they're fucking doing, and I just disconnect the minute you start singing what the fuck is happening. What about Dr.
Horrible sing-along blog?
It is legitimately not my favorite. I do like it. Sure. I did laugh. I think it was kind of a joke that it was a musical to begin with, which helps it because you're more examining the medium at that point. Hold on to copy it in your head. Control C in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a good segue for later. Examining a medium.
Okay.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
But when you examine a medium like that, I like things that will examine a medium, so I can almost always break a rule for something that remains very self-aware of what it is. But yeah, for the most part, if you... there is one other exception to this rule with me. Okay. Animated, like, kids' films and stuff, a cartoon chicken breaking into song, I'm fine with. That makes sense to me, but... For me, the one that explains it the best, and I don't like this episode either, but the Buffy musical episode, where a demon makes everybody break into song, and there's the whole, they got the mustard out. That's exactly what I hate about musicals. We're just going to sing a song about the thing that's happening. This seemed to be 9 seconds if you didn't fucking make a song about it, so now you're just taking a really weak, short plot and extending it by singing a song about bullshit. I hate it. I'm
not gonna lie. The musical episodes are usually my least favorite episodes. On
my wife will almost like push to skip musical episodes. She can't do them either. Because I'll sit through it, but I don't like
musical episodes, and also the recap episodes bug me to shit. Oh, we're gonna have.
I like the new joke of like the bottle episode. That's a recap episode. That's recaps of things that don't actually happen in the show. Sure. I love
that's turning it on its ear. Like, I'm down for that.
It's examining the medium. It's dissecting the trope.
But what I really, really fucking hate is, hey, we're going to take a 10-minute conversation and then just set up all these clips. I was like, I fucking hate clip shows. America's Funniest Home Videos may be the only one not. But generally speaking, I don't like clip shows. And that's what it turns into. Because it feels like the actors didn't really feel like doing anything today. And they're still making the same amount of money. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, so, we'll just
flashback episodes, clip episodes. Yeah, it's really lazy. It never works. I don't like it.
I understand why they're doing it. Because in syndication, sometimes it's nice to remind your fucking audience of all of the shit that they're not going to miss because they're not aired in order.
Right.
I'm down for that. But I think that any rewatching of a show, just cut them. Just not worth it. They bring nothing to the goddamn board. But yeah, musicals though, I'm not a big play guy, so it has to be the right musical. I definitely don't like going to movies that are musicals.
I feel like somewhere we're giving Jay like acid reflux right now. Like his guts are boiling because we're having this conversation.
Jay has an ingrown hair right now just because of what we just said.
Yeah.
For reals.
Co-host of the benched Bias Bros.
Bias Bros.
Currently benched Bias Bros.
That's a good way to put it. All right. So we've done other shit other than just bitch about musicals and stuff. I've been watching a whole lot of Gilmore Girls. Just kidding. I mean, I have, but I'm not going to go into that. It's been in the background while I play Stellaris on my couch. I've learned some new shit, but I'm actually really interested in hearing about your fucking run through of this series, of how you were examining the medium with these Keystone.
Speaking of examining mediums.
Like, yeah, we've talked about it. It's a Keystone franchise. It resurrected a genre.
Absolutely, yeah. At the time that it came out, this was all but dead, and well known and well credited for bringing back the slasher flick. Scream. So I've been rewatching the Scream movies. I really want to get to. I was actually planning on having all. I love that you found exactly those 3 on a DVD. Well done. So I really wanted to finish them all this weekend, but for whatever reason, Paramount Plus would not play 2 on my Xbox. I don't know why it wouldn't.
But just
it wouldn't.
the Xbox.
Yeah, and just the Xbox. But like that's the only thing I have set up in my living room, and I wasn't gonna fucking sit there and like sit on my couch and watch it on my laptop. No, I'm not 12. I don't need to do that. So rewatching all of these, I gotta say, so these are the 3 that I've done, and I've just started 4 at like time of recording this. I just started 4. I'm maybe 10 minutes in. 1, 2, and 3. Man, I remember these coming out. I did not realize they're as old as they are, but if I'm remembering off the top of my head right, it's 1996, 1997, and 2000. I think that's right if you want to fact check me.
I will fact check you, but I'm pretty sure when Scream 1 came out, I was still a field worker.
I want to say it's 96, 97, and 2000. So obviously the first Scream comes out, and honestly, I don't really want to review the first Scream too much. I feel like the first Scream is rewatched, it's well known, and it's deservedly so. This is the one I didn't just rewatch this weekend. I rewatched it with my wife a couple of months ago. She had never seen it.
Okay.
She walked away going, it was really fun, but she felt like it was a little too dated. And because Scream is what brought the slasher back, you know, when you watch the origin well after all the new things, you go, oh, well, the new things have really explored this pretty heavily, and now this just seems weak in comparison.
This seems derivative, but in reality, everything else.
Right, but just seeing it in that order makes this seem like the most base level, which is all fair, which totally fits. I still really appreciated it because I am the big, gorehound slasher fan. I can look at it, and yes, Wes Craven actually was tipping his hat and doing a nod to slasher films that inspired this.
So, 1996, 1997.
I got 2.
2000.
I got all 3.
There
Bam!
you go.
Woo! And then, if you still have it up, is Scream 4, 2011, and 5/22?
Yes, except they're not. Wikipedia isn't calling Scream 5 Scream 5. No,
what do they call? Oh, Scream
sorry.
5 is technically Scream.
So, yes, it's in 2022.
It's this year.
And then upcoming 6th installment already announced.
Interesting. Okay, I'll see where that goes. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of Scream 2. Scream 2, Sydney's back. She's in... Oh, sorry, hold on. I'm already getting ahead of myself. Let's talk intros, right? Scream 1, big intro. This is what it's famous for. Look at that screenshot that's on screen right now. For folks that are at home and can't see you listening to this on audio, of course, the Scream box art, Drew Barrymore, front and center. Still, even knowing what we all know now, Drew Barrymore up front, in your face, on the box. Except Drew Barrymore is killed right in the opening scene of this movie, and that was done intentionally. This was like, excuse me, to my understanding, this is after Drew Barrymore had her big meltdown, was detoxing, was getting over a lot of childhood trauma, and was not really in the spotlight. So this was part of Drew Barrymore's big comeback. I don't know that it was like the first one, but it was like a return, so to speak. And she and Wes actually came up with the idea together to kill her off right. The big name actress whose big comeback, bam, killed off right in the intro. Front and center on the poster, all the marketing, Drew Barrymore's name above Neve Campbell, killed off in the opener. And this is done on purpose. This is so you watch Scream and you go, fuck, what is this movie gonna do, right? It's breaking the rules. They're talking about the rules in the movie, but they're breaking some of those rules, right?
Yeah.
So Scream 2, we open up Jada Pickett Smith in the intro. Jada Pickett Smith, not Matrix big. Matrix is probably where she really cemented herself as like never going anywhere, gonna be in AAA films the rest of her life. But before this, Jada Pickett Smith, already on a really popular show for 3 seasons. Didn't start on it, but still 3 seasons on a popular show is nothing to turn away from. Already done Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
There's
I
at least
still don't remember her in that.
There's at least one other big name film she did that's I'm totally blanking on. But Jada Pickett Smith, actually Jada Pinkett at the time, not even Smith yet, on the box art, front and center, building a name for herself. Second death in the movie, but still in the opening. Her and her boyfriend, Omar Epps, killed right in the opening. That's another thing that Scream really brings to the table. Let's talk fucking casting on these movies.
Yeah.
So, let's go first one, okay? Drew Barrymore, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, and Skeet Olsen playing the villain. Yes, his name is Skeet. Are you having to look up Skeet Olsen? You're gonna look him up and you're gonna go, oh fuck, this dude. Yeah, that guy's name it's Skeet Olsen, isn't it? Am I getting the name wrong?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Skeet Olsen.
It's Skeet something. Hold on. We're racing to find answers right now.
Skeet's kind of a weird name.
Oh, Skeet Ulrich, not Skeet Olsen. Skeet Ulrich as Billy. So yeah, that's our killer. But again, also Rose McGowan, Jamie Kennedy, big name motherfuckers. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Scream 2 just so I don't
big name
skip
now
anybody.
or big name then?
Yes, like a mix. So
Yeah,
Courtney Cox has done Friends, but we're not deep into Friends.
Yeah.
David Arquette, part of a very famous family.
Mm-hmm.
Rose McGowan, I think a little less known. I don't think she's done Charmed yet, or she's started Charmed.
Charmed.
Oh no, because she's the one who's brought in. She's the one who's brought in late, anyways, right?
Yeah, and Charmed hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. So, Jamie Kennedy, known for stand-up, not known for really anything else at the time. Okay, so first one, pretty star-studded. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Second
Charmed
movie
was 1998.
Oh yeah, so
2 years after this.
Couple of years before. Okay, so number 2, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette. As said before, Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps. So let's throw in Heather Graham, Liv Schreiber. There was another one, and they're not showing up on the IMDb. But even those two right there. So, Tori Spelling and David Schwimmer.
Okay. God, I need to rewatch this because I forgot Schwimmer was in this.
So Schwimmer is in, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Timothy Oliphant, and Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, some of these were before they made it big, but still.
And Portia de Rossi, fuck, that was her, and Rebecca Grayhart. So, pulling out, and Luke Wilson has like one small role in it.
Well, say what you want about him. He might have not exploded, but what is it, Liv Schreiber? I love him.
Liv Schreiber is huge. Well, I don't know about huge, but you've definitely, even if you don't know the name, you've seen him
in a bunch, and I think he's
lots
great.
Of things. Yes, he is.
I think he's fantastic.
And Timothy Oliphant, dude.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan.
I'm trying to do less spoilers, but a few of these people, the characters they pull out are fantastic. Like Jerry O'Connell doing a kind of not Jerry O'Connell role, in my opinion, I like.
Yeah. I like Jerry O'Connell.
So Scream 3, bro. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna do casting across the board really quick, then we'll circle back around. So Scream 3 adds in Patrick Dempsey of Grey's Anatomy fame. Scott Foley, you, my friend, would know him best as Sean in Scrubs.
Okay.
The whale trainer boyfriend of Elliot.
Oh, wow. He was around even back then? I wasn't even aware of him until Scrubs.
He is a main role in that movie. Let's talk a couple of cameos for number 3. Roger Corman, famous director of like schlock horror. Mm-hmm. Not to mention Jay Muse and Kevin Smith as Jay and Silent Bob doing a cameo. Dion Richmond, who I think a lot of people would know, Not Another Teen Movie. I'm just here to say things like bling bling, and that is whack. Yeah. He's a big character in this. Jenny McCarthy, also in it. Parker Posey, Patrick Warburton.
I love both of those.
Carrie Fisher.
I don't remember her in this.
A lot of them small roles, but in it. And
Okay.
then, so I'm just going to go up to as far as I am. I don't know what great cameos are waiting for me in 5, and I just started number 4, but there's a couple right off the bat. So again, all of these: Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette. They're staying true through all of these. So let's also add in Anna Paquin, Kristen Bell,
Okay.
Alison Brie, Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts. Oh fuck, there was I actually don't know her name, but if anybody ever watched Life Unexpected, the girl who played Lux, like weird sitcom-y thing that my wife and I really loved. And then they bring back
Brie was in
Alison Brie's in
Scream?
Scream 4. Yes.
Huh.
Adam Brody. I haven't run into him in it yet. Anthony Anderson. Dude, these movies have names in them.
Yeah. Wow. There's so I love watching older films and going, "Oh shit, they made a name for themselves."
Yes. And like these are coming out and hitting it. Okay, so Scream 2, there's our opening. We get rid of Omar Epps and Jada Pickett right in the opening. Doing a spoiler-free one. They lay this out more perfectly, where the first one sets up the rules and then talks about how to break those rules effectively. The second movie just sets up what a sequel is and flat out discusses that sequels almost never live up to originals. There is a whole running conversation about how sequels are hard and they can't always live up to the original as well. And for what I like, in my brain, I'm watching the movie and I go, excuse me, Empire Strikes Back absolutely beats the original. And the argument is, no, that's a trilogy. It's part of a ramp, and it's planned. And I had to say,
Also,
damn it, you are correct, sir.
And also, movies like that are the exception that makes the rules. You have to have them or else...
Yep. Terminator 2, same kind of thing. Gremlins 2, I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I'm sorry, Gremlins 2 is better. Short Circuit 2 is better.
I haven't seen them recently enough to have an opinion on that.
So Scream 2, am I going to say better? No, I'll say they actually live up to what they call out. The sequel has a hard time living up to the original, and it's almost never better. But what I love is the plan that's sort of laid out by Jamie Kennedy's character almost happens to a T. Everything he says, like, this is the things you get out of a sequel, it lives up to that. It hits the bell for sequel. The twist is pretty good. I don't see how you could predict it very... You might call who, but you're not going to call the why. Good use of set, good use of setting. I like 2. I think I didn't like it when I first watched it, and going back, Liev Schreiber is really good in it. Solid movie. 2 is good.
Okay.
Boom. I'll say 3.8, if not a 4. I can't go as low as 3.5. I can't do it.
Okay. I mean, that's not bad. That's a solid rating. Now that you've done, so you're gonna do the other Screams, right? Obviously, you're gonna keep going.
So I finished Scream 3. Scream 3 a little weaker, and I think this is the film that turned a lot of people off the franchise and why they didn't get a sequel for 11 years. I'd say it aged pretty well. You got Parker Posey doing a Parker Posey. She plays the Bitch Queen, and she rocks Bitch Queen. That is her fucking brand, and she nails it every time she does it. The character's fun. I like the character. It's really good.
Parker Posey is fun.
Parky Poser.
Parky Poser.
The setup is a little interesting. I like what they did with Nev Campbell's character. I think it fits and it makes sense. This one weirdly seems to be a little bit more David Arquette, Courtney Cox focused. A little bit. Not bad, not good, just an interesting call. Though maybe it was a shakeup that the franchise needed that just didn't pan out very well. I don't hate that. I just think maybe it's not the best carry out.
For a third movie in a quasi-character-driven horror franchise, it's hard to have substance by number 3.
Yeah,
so you swap out the characters and try something else.
Yep. I would say what really holds this movie together, what keeps this movie as a solid 3. I'm going to go middle of the road. Scream 3 is not bad. It's not great. And what keeps it together for me is they go even more specific. Jamie Kennedy's character has an appearance one more time. And he goes over like, okay, here's the thing with a trilogy. Here's the thing with the third movie. Here's what happens. A, B, C, D. And honestly, A, B, C, and D happen. They set it up. They knock it. They're calling their shot. We're doing this,
yep.
And then they made that shot.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with calling a shot if the end product is more impressive than just hearing people talk about it.
Yeah. I like... So here, this is the one little spoiler I'll give you. One of the things that they talk about that always happens in the third movie is history has to change, right? Something we thought we knew from the first two has to fundamentally change, and that's what fuels this movie, is a big change to something we thought we knew. That big change, I like. I think it fits really well. It doesn't step on anything. It makes sense, and it's fairly believable for the most part. The actor does a good job of selling it. I think one of the big things is the whole Act 3 for me all takes place inside of some like a director's mansion. And the mansion just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like the big final confrontation happens in it's the secret screening room in the mansion. And there really is a secret door to get in the secret screening room. But also on the other side of the secret screening room is a big double door that another character finds later by just yelling out, "There's another hall down here!" And then that hall just leads to double doors that lead to the secret screening room. There's some doors that they seem to be able to kick and the door flies open and off the handle, but other doors 2 people can slam into and it doesn't budge. I don't know. The whole, like most of the cast is killed off in the third act. Yeah. And I do feel like there's one scene in particular where I feel like they just went, this person's the killer. Like, there's just a thing they do and you go, what was that? And then it turns out that person's the killer and you go, oh, I guess that's what that was. Just cut the 3 seconds that this thing happens and half the audience doesn't figure out the killer 15 to 20 minutes early.
Okay.
Yeah, weird. Just a little weird towards the end. But other than that, solid middle of the road. I like Scream 3 enough.
Yeah. Sequels are hard, and even more so by the third one. Sequels are hard.
And especially for a horror slasher fic. I mean, Jason had to go take Manhattan by that point. Actually, that was that 4? That might have been 4.
Well, Jason and even like Freddy Krueger, any of those, they were liberated by the fact...
Oh, God, that was 8. I was so far off. That was 8 by the time he took Manhattan.
I was just going to say
that was way off.
They were liberated by the fact that they don't have to make sense.
No, they don't.
But unfortunately, the Scream movies, they appeal to the broader audience because they weren't your typical slasher.
And each one does break some rules, right? Mm-hmm. They take a trope and they go, not today, Satan, and they don't do it.
Aw, sad now. But yeah, no, I will say the whole, like, what you mentioned, the mansion thing makes me feel like Halloween H2O, where they were in a haunted house or some shit.
You know, I've never seen H2O. I didn't bother.
It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact there was a film crew of some sorts, and they were in a house setup, maybe like Big Brother style. I forget the setup. It's been so long.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes on that? Because I think, if I remember right, isn't that like considered one of the worst ones?
I think so. Was it LL Cool J? Cool J, is that the one that he was in?
52% from the critics, 49% from the audience. So not the worst, but yeah, that's pretty bad. And yeah, that might have been the one LL Cool J is in. Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm looking it up here.
I did not enjoy the first Halloween, if I'm being honest. Now, I did see it as an adult. So yes, it is the one with LL Cool J in it. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, interestingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I know he didn't make it as big as people thought, but Josh Hartnett brings it.
Is he in this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay.
He's top billing.
Yeah, I really just didn't like the first Halloween. And again, I only saw it last year, the year before, so like way as an adult, way after seeing a lot of slasher movies. I understand that it really launched the slasher as like a genre. People
Mm-hmm.
started doing slashers after that. So I get it. And maybe I need to see the later ones, but the first one for me was just a little lame. Low kill count. What, 3 or 4 people die in
Yeah,
the
I
first
remember you
Halloween?
mentioning that. I was laughing pretty hard because I was like, that seems really low for, what
5.
everybody thinks is a major player in the slasher genre.
5 deaths in the first Halloween movie. How many people die in the first
Oh,
Texas
okay, so
Chainsaw?
so now that you've seen the first three Scream, are you gonna go back to Final Destination?
No. No,
Tell
I'm
me you didn't
not.
like at least one of those films.
I mean, the first one is fun the first time you see it, but after that, why?
I honestly I thought the deaths were fun.
15 in the first Texas Chainsaw, for the record.
I mean, what about Final Destination? It's got to be like hundreds.
No, it's. Oh, if you count the big accident at the beginning.
Like, yeah, hundreds, I tell you.
Uh,
But yeah, no, I like the first two. The third one when they switched out with like what is it Emily Winstead? Is that a name? Am I wrong here?
so 180 people survive the plane, and then we see 23 die.
Yeah, so that's not a bad
23? No,
kill
that
count.
seems high. That seems really high. Hold on.
I don't know. Does like a whole bus go over a cliff or something? That's like 12 right there.
No, 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 no. Hold on.
No, I refuse. That's kind of.
Let's see.
Oh, I didn't know that.
13.
Daniel Roebuck was in the first Final Destination.
Who?
Uh, playing. I think he's playing in the Monsters. He's playing the dad.
Roebuck?
Yeah.
Spell it. No, I'm kidding. Don't spell
That's
it.
funny. I'm trying
I'm just
to.
looking
He's
it
been
up.
in a bunch of things. Like
Was he in 13?
maybe.
Because if it's not the guy from 13, it's not the guy who's playing Herman Munster in the Munsters movie.
Uh, it is Monsters. Might have been in 13. Man, I don't. I've never seen 13. If I'm being honest.
It's the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I've never seen.
I have no
Wait,
idea who this man is.
really?
Also, I think you mean he's going to play Grandpapa just based on his picture on IMDb.
Yeah, I think so.
Herman's a different character entirely.
Oh, I'm
but
sorry.
let's see.
I totally misspoke. But
Yes, he is playing Grandpa in the Munsters.
I said the
reboot.
dad, but I should have
Yeah,
said the dad of the.
the grandfather.
Yeah.
I'm looking through so far. I've not seen anything.
I've
he's
seen.
in.
I've seen. He was in The Fugitive and U.S. Marshals, which both both pretty well known films.
Oh, he's in one episode of Fresh Off the Boat and one episode of Agents of Shield.
He's done a lot of background characters and stuff, but I like him. He's pretty
Fair
good.
enough. I'll take
But-
your word for it.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, and,
I'll
and
watch
by
this
the way,
porno.
just bringing this back, Scott Foley wasn't only in Scrubs, he was also in the unit. He was one of the main cast in the unit. I reviewed the show here.
Okay.
You're like, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, let me remember every show you've ever reviewed on this fucking channel.
Honestly, we have so many episodes at this point. Sometimes I forget that we've reviewed stuff. I
We've
wouldn't be
probably reviewed
surprised-
things more than once.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have. Some people have production value. We have just about enough time for a call out here.
Yeah, we don't even have interns to beat.
I know, but well, I guess I shouldn't throw shade. This is on YouTube. One of the predominant channels that we both enjoyed with some of the personalities we like Film Brain. It ended up that they were pretty much abusing their employees, their production staff.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what you like to hear.
It's kind of sad. But anyways, on that note, check us out Monday nights, 7 to 8 Pacific on 5D Podcasts on YouTube. Tuesday, it's 7 to 9. It's twitch.tv/Metagame Network. I have no idea what we're playing. We have been playing a Minecraft-like game called Core Keeper. I enjoy it, but, you know, you can only get so much of that. It's that the 3D Terraria thing all over again, or isometric-ish Terraria. Final words, Bonsai.
I might watch the Batman this weekend.
Me too. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.